Hello and welcome to Among the Wildflowers. If you're new here, thanks for joining us on this journey as we build a homestead in southwest Missouri on our small acreage. If you were with us last week, we were framing up the walls of the shop and getting that ready, but we also started the framing process of the apartment that's attached to the shop. We'll be living in that while we build our permanent home, and we just invite you to come along on the journey with us. Look at this handsome fellow that I stumbled upon in the morning as I was taking Phoebe, my little dog, out for her morning walk. He is an 8-point, I believe, buck, and I usually see 4 doe, 3 or 4, but every few days this guy appears. It seems as though we had a staring contest with one another for a little while before he decided to take off. There's something good for the soul about seeing wildlife. I love having a home where I can wake up and see these different creatures just doing what they do. While we're in the building process, we've been living in this RV. It's 2 bedrooms and really quite spacious at 40 feet, but I am so ready to get into the apartment. If you are also considering living in an RV while you're building and you want to see a full tour of ours, I will link that here so you can watch that when you're done with this video. And here is where we left off last week. Now we have gotten quite a bit more done. In this video, you'll see that over the next few days, we got the building wrapped in tar paper and in Tyvek. On the inside, the wood is still going to be exposed, and then we will do stone over the Tyvek. Cowan Construction out of Pineville, Missouri put our shingles on for us, and we're very happy with the black look. The fascia and soffit is also going to be black, and we thought that would be a really nice contrast against the stone. At the same time that was going on, we were waiting for the spray foam insulation to show up. So we covered the floors, wanted to make sure that we contain the mess as much as possible. Plus, we'll need the concrete floors covered for the rest of the work that we're going to do. As you can see here, we used Burleson foam insulation out of Grove, Oklahoma for the job. They let me peek in the back of their truck, and I was really surprised for some reason by how much equipment they have and what all goes into the behind the scenes process of doing the spray foam. After they spray, they come back and trim the excess down so you can get your sheetrock on nice and tight against the wall without all of the spray foam sticking out. And if we didn't have enough going on in one day, we also had the concrete truck show up and we poured a pad for Damion's sawmill. As you can see here, it's just a small pad, but we live on a hillside basically. So we needed a nice level area for him to be able to set up his sawmill. As I have said before, the sawmill is one of the best tools that he has, and it has really helped us in our last home and in this home that we're building now in being able to do some of the work ourselves and help save money along the way. Damion was working the concrete himself on a very hot day. The concrete sets up fast, so the delivery driver and I both decided to lend a hand and help Damion out a little bit.
Look at that.
Yeah, now you gotta move over and do it again. You're doing too good of a job.
You want to go drink beer, Dan?
After that comment, I thought it might be best if I take back the camera and give Damion back the bull float. The next day, I woke up to a coyote just outside of our RV, which really doesn't bother me personally. I've lived around coyotes forever, but I do keep my little dog outside on a leash, sometimes unsupervised, so she can get some fresh sun, and now I know I shouldn't be doing that. A few years back, I found this really cool forged iron chandelier. I knew right away I had to save it for the next barn Damion would build. Well, that time has finally come. I've got the perfect spot to hang it up, but before we can do that, it needs a few modifications.
That's hard. Tighten it up a little. Yeah, that's all it needs. It's just 3/8. Feels tighter.
Yeah, she got some weight. Still.
No, not totally. That way we're looking pretty perfect.
While the guys were working on the chandelier, we had Cowan Construction come back and install 3 copper finials on the rooftop. They look very out of place right now in this ranch style building with tie-vac, but once the whole place is completed, I think that they will look absolutely perfect. Picture the building with stone on the exterior, flower boxes, and a stone home over to the side with also more copper finials and a copper cupola. These finials had a patina added to them before installation, but they won't stay this deep of a color for long. Over time, as they're exposed to the air and elements, they'll go through the process of oxidation and change colors to more of a brown tone. As the week continued, we started working on the utility room. This is a room that will house our washer and dryer, water heater, and will also be basically Damion's mudroom. He gets very dirty in his work, So he'll have his own place for his clothes and to be able to wash his dirty clothes that get very dirty. Even when we have our other house built, he'll have his own washing machine and his own shower. In this room, we are putting up a wood ceiling, and we tried a 2-in-1 stain and seal on this ceiling, and really we were not happy with it. So it was good that we tried it out in this room. That doesn't matter so much, but in the apartment, we went with the traditional way of staining and sealing wood, and it looks much better, but it was worth a try at least. We have so many armadillos here. These armored little guys originally called places like Texas and Mexico home, but over the years they have slowly migrated north, crossing state lines in search of food and warmer climates. Thanks to our somewhat mild winters here and plenty of insects, Missouri now has a growing population of armadillos, and I am here to say that Southwest Missouri is filled with armadillos. But we are also filled with beautiful creatures like the white-tailed buck that I saw here just at dusk as the sun was going down. We're working on the finishing touches on this chandelier. It's forged iron. We ordered some light bulbs that look like flickering candles, and then there's actual candle bases, I guess, that go over it, and it is creating a really cool look. I'll turn off the lights here in a little bit and show you the finished version of it. The orange glow is actually a little too much for me, but when you have other lights on, it looks a little more yellow than orange. I'm not going to spend the money to get different bulbs though, but as the orange bulbs go out, I will replace them with more of a yellow flame. Now that we have the wax candles set, we are completely finished, and I am very happy with the outcome. I think that the piece was just as perfect as I had imagined for a future barn as the day that I picked it up and happily brought it home to show to Damion. After the worst drought that Missouri has seen in over 70 years, we're finally starting to see some fall foliage as we wrap up the week. Well, be sure to come back and join us next week as Damion is working on a really unique shower. And if you're enjoying this type of video, I'd like to invite you to be our newest subscriber to Among the Wildflowers. And don't forget to give us a thumbs up. It really helps us and lets YouTube know that you like this type of video. Until next time, God bless.